So I have to apologize. I made a mistake that sometimes happens where you think you hit PM and it didn't hit PM. And apparently people thought the show was at 6 a.m. even though I said we'll be back at this regular time. But it doesn't matter because you saw the thing. And then I see that a bunch of people commented or waiting. I feel so bad. Not that bad, because there's a lot of shows I've done at 6 a.m. and none of you motherfuckers were here. Not a one. I just stared into the abyss, begging for a comment. And nope. But this time, everybody showed up. Maybe it's subject matter. I don't know. Just kidding. But shout out to MToussaint. I was like, people, she is your biggest advocate. Because I definitely was like, fuck them. Right? They've left me high and dry so many times in the morning. I'm your host, Jason Miles, and welcome to an on-time episode of This is Revolution podcast. For all the returning listeners and subscribers, thank you so much for coming back today at the correct time, because I put the wrong time earlier. Seriously, thank you so much for coming back. For all the new people checking this out, I never do that. That was a one-time thing. Has never, ever happened before. If you do end up digging what we're doing, please hit like and, of course, subscribe. Is a passive gesture that goes a long way in promoting the channel. Issue number 19 of the Crisis Papers is out now and available gratis for all TIR patrons. Killing Them Softly, Dave Chappelle, Race Reductionism and Cultural Hegemony. Something we're going to be discussing on this show right now. Wherever you are watching or later listening, there's a link in the description to the Crisis Papers where you can check that out. And even if you're not a patron and don't want to be bogged down by the tyranny of monthly or yearly contributions, you can buy individual issues of all of the Crisis Papers. I want to thank everyone that was able to make it out to movie night last night, where we watched the classic haunted horror movie, The Innocents, based on the classic novella, Turning of the Screw. The movie did not disappoint. And with Barn in the house, we talked for hours after the screening. The replay is up now for patrons that were not able to make it to the live showing. So if you do dig the wide variety of programming we provide here on TIR, and you want to make sure that we have quality control people, maybe you should become a patron. That's something to think about. Then these things don't happen. You'll get access to champagne rooms, movie nights. You get the Crisis Papers and the weekly newsletter. For as little as $3 a month or $30 for the year, you get the satisfaction of knowing your small donation goes a long way in keeping TIR on the air. Now, let's get to it. There was a time in the 2000s when the Dave Chappelle show was must-see television. We were living in what journalist Ross Bennis calls the height of low culture, a moment when cultural production that once lived on the fringes, catering to lumpen consumption, had fully moved to center stage. Trash talk shows dominated ratings. Pro wrestling drew more viewers on Mondays than the Super Bowl. Beanie Babies were a viable commodity. And Insane Clown Posse, not Public Enemy, was, according to the FBI, the most dangerous rap group. This was an era saturated with misogynistic and even racist media, and the Chappelle show existed within that same transgressive ecosystem, even as it critiqued it. It was intelligent humor in an era dominated by raunchy comedies and what many perceived to be a stupid president. Idiocracy was not meant as a predictive vision of the future, but rather as a satire of the George W. Bush administration and the broader dumbing down of society. Dave Chappelle operated in a similar vein of biting satire. Yet, just as his star seemed to rise into the stratosphere, he walked away from both the show and show business altogether under circumstances that at the time felt mysterious. Chappelle later claimed that after signing a $50 million contract with Comedy Central, the network sought greater control over his creative output, leaving him increasingly beholden to corporate interests rather than his own artistic instincts. Amid what appeared to be a personal crisis, he disappeared to South Africa, only to reemerge sporadically for unannounced stand-up performances. This eventually led to Chappelle signing a deal with Netflix, where he produced what many consider to be his best and most controversial material. By this point, however, the cultural terrain had shifted. Chappelle seemed to believe the moment was ripe for his brand of smart humor, which much of which centered heavily on race, so heavily at times that it flattened race into class. When he made jokes about the trans community, he faced significant backlash. He returned with another special and attempted to address the controversy in 2021's The Closer, but his message of tolerance proved insufficient for many critics. The cultural moment had shifted again, this time amid what some have called, what we call here on this show, the Great Awakening. Chappelle's ostensibly colorblind message of unity was seen as falling short of full acceptance of trans identity, and he was labeled a transphobe. The backlash persisted. From the most recent issue of the Crisis Papers, number 19. In 2022, Dave Chappelle appeared at a village council meeting in Yellow Springs, Iowa, to oppose a proposed mixed-use housing development that including duplexes, townhomes, and a future affordable housing component. Chappelle argued the plan was flawed and inadequately considered, warning officials, quote, "I'm not bluffing. I will take it all off the table," referring to his own business investments in the area if the project moved forward. While he later maintained he was not opposed to affordable housing in principle, the material outcome is harder to ignore. His intervention helped produce a deadlock that effectively halted the development in its original form, eliminating its affordable housing component and replacing it with less dense single-family construction. Chappelle's retreat from Hollywood, then, is not a retreat from power, but simply a relocation of it. He is, like many people of his social and financial class, tucked away from urban precarity and into a space where his financial leverage carries direct political weight. Though often framing himself through a lens in which race remains the primary barrier to full participation, his own trajectory, continued wealth, platform, and audience loyalty complicates that narrative. His analysis tends to flatten race and class into a single axis of oppression, even as his lived reality reflects significant class mobility and influence. We see that tension surface again in his defense of performing in Saudi Arabia, where he argued, "As soon as a black man can make money off the plantation, they try to tell you that the money is dirty. Where is this clean money you're talking about?" In this framing, critique becomes selective outrage rather than structural analysis, allowing Chappelle to position himself as a transgressive outsider while operating comfortably within global circuits of capital. The result is a figure who once embodied a kind of cultural radicalism, but now reads, especially to younger audiences, less as a dissident voice and more as a part of an established comedic cohort, closer in perception to figures like Jerry Seinfeld, Bill Burr, or Louis C.K. than to the insurgent voice he once represented. Unquote. And again, if you want to read that whole thing, there's a link in the description. All right, let's talk a little Dave Chappelle. And to do this with me, my home, my dog, with man of the Mau Mau Hour. He is Prince of Miami. He is the Pascal Robert.
Peace and greetings to the chat. Peace and greetings to the audience. Peace and greetings, Jason Miles.
Are you ready to get into this Dave Chappelle stuff?
Chappelle.
And she is the voice of reason. Please welcome MToussaint.
Hello. Peace to y'all. Peace to the listeners. Peace to the chat. And peace to the mods. I just want to say, because of your mix-up with AM and PM today, there's a lovely person named Gus in the chat who accidentally left his baby and his coffee on top of his car because you mixed up AM and PM.
I saw that. He was like, I was gonna take the kids out, and I said, "No, fuck the kids. I'm gonna watch the show."
Then he said he turned down his job interview, his dream job interview, because you mixed up AM and PM.
Look, man, I wish you guys could be. Damn it, Pascal! What kind of chair are you sitting in?
Man, shit is creaking.
My God. Is that
Ah.
the chair or are you bionic?
He said WD-40.
I've never seen someone mic the chair. All jokes aside, let's get mildly serious. Someone said that Chappelle's Netflix stuff is not his best stuff. I would say it is.
I mean, I don't know. It's like I don't know. Is it like basic to say the show is his best stuff? He also didn't write that stuff.
Yeah, he didn't write not all of it.
Not all of it. Oh, so he wrote some of it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that I have followed his career like from the beginning where he's with Jim Brewer, whom he dropped like a bad habit, and was doing all those weed movies all the way through to now. Like I can't say I've watched everything
I
to
wonder how
decide
close.
what's the best.
I don't know
Sorry.
how close they were. Also, Jim Brewer made some weird twists and turns in his time post
He's a
there.
special man. Yeah.
Look, Dave Chappelle, like anybody else. I mean, when I wrote the piece, I was trying to put him in a proper historic place because I think every conversation I've ever heard about him is always in a vacuum. And you really have to look at who he is, where he came up, how he came up. And when he's trying to make it into the business, it's a very different Hollywood at that time, especially when it comes to Black people on screens. There's only a couple places you're going to be on screens when he's trying to make it into the business. And that's probably the small screen before the big screen. And I think his first big movie role is Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Sounds right.
And then he doesn't do anything for a while, and you get Half Baked, and
right.
So movie wise, it just never really worked out for him. And television wise, you're talking about the horrible spinoff, very offensive spinoff of Home Improvement. He was on with Jim Brewer. I think it only lasted like 6 episodes. And you have to really be a fan of the guy to even know to look that kind of stuff up. Kind of like Mos Def, right? Like most people think Mos Def he's a rap guy. It's like, yeah, he's on TV first.
For a while.
Yeah, very different here.
Do we believe that the allegation that Dave Chappelle is somehow the intelligent man's comedian is questionable?
Do you believe he's not? Do you believe he's not?
I think it's kind of dubious based on some of his most recent interviews, because that some of the statement, I don't want to say that the statements demonstrate a certain kind of ignorance, but they definitely demonstrate a certain kind of tone deafness. I mean, when you're making trans jokes and you're shocked that what's her name, Bobert, is going to say to you, "Hey, we're just two people who agree that there's only 2 genders," and you're going to be surprised and outraged that they're weaponizing your jokes. Dude, your jokes were weaponized when they came out of your mouth. I mean, why are you surprised that it's going to be fodder for the right wing? And then to make a comment like, it was only offensive when the black man owned the plantation. No, it was offensive when black people owned plantations too.
Well, that was for the Saudi Arabia thing. He said that too.
I'm just saying, dude, said some things don't sound that bright.
Toussaint?
I don't think it's that he's not that bright. I think he is an intelligent guy, but I think he is lying. He is trying to cover his tracks. He's trying to play dumb. The thing with Lauren Boebert, he said he didn't know how to say "I respectfully decline." And I saw on some podcasts, they were like, "Nigga, you don't know how to say no?" And I think that's true. Like, this is the guy who said no to all those millions and went to go live in Africa for a while and get buck.
Wow.
I think I think Toussaint's take is a better take. Let me recant my position. I don't think Dave Chappelle is dumb. I think he does a bad job at playing dumb.
Is he so smart that he's bad at playing them?
Ooh, dun dun dun.
Yeah.
Dizzle says, "Don't let Jason lie to you. He was out running the CIA this morning, so he had to spoof his location with his YouTube channel." I wish I was. What time would that have been? I was actually asleep. If you listen to the interview, he says that he didn't know who Lauren Boebert was, and he says he was walking through the halls of Congress, and everyone was asking for a photo, and she walked up and asked for a photo. If you take him at his word, you can say, well, there are times when you go to places like DC, like I don't know if you guys have ever been to like the White House. You guys are East Coasters. I would assume you've been to the White House. If both of you say no, get off the screen. You're not allowed to talk about politics. You never visited the White House. Jesus.
Good night, everybody.
Oh my God.
You have an unnatural allegiance.
You got the Cat Williams.
I've been to Wall Street and I sat on top of that massive bull and took a picture.
Were you little Toussaint?
Yes, I was.
Oh, that's actually so cute.
Yeah, thank you.
If you have that picture, I want to see it.
I'll see if I can dig it up.
I bet that's adorable. Pascal, you've never been to the White House.
I was protesting the White House when it was created.
Okay, well, I'm sorry.
Whoa! It was in 1804. Like, I'm leaving Haiti. I'm going to protest. Out of nowhere.
I was protesting the White House in 1991.
I came out the womb protesting the White House.
That was pretty good. I didn't see that one coming. It just fucked my whole train of thought right up. Well, I mean, he's been gone for a while, folks, but he's back. His name is Pascal Robert. He'll be here all week.
Quantum leaping all week.
What you mean we's don't gotta work here? I mean, you niggas don't gotta work here. You have nothing to lose but your chains. I meant figurative, not them literal ones. It's gonna take a minute.
Oh my gosh.
When you said quantum leap, Pascal just goes to different periods of time and gives people and takes right the fuck off. Keep at it. You're almost there. You got like 100 more years. It seems like a lot to you, but it's nothing to me.
Just hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. It'll be a great documentary. Just watch.
Documentary? Don't worry about it. Everywhere he goes, he's Marty McFly. Your kids are gonna love it. Was there a protest in the White House? God damn. I was really trying to be serious.
I know. It was a good intro, by the way.
I read all this shit I've never read before. Big words.
Gramsci.
Oh, reading Gramsci, right?
Gramsci. I'm like, oh, look, check out the brains on Brad.
Oof. And then Pascal just pulls the tablecloth. If you take Dave Chappelle at his word and go, there's probably a lot of white young women that were taking pictures with him between the ages of 23 and 30. Lauren Boebert does look like everybody. It would be hard for me to recognize her in a crowd of white women.
Very generic looking white woman.
Very generic looking white woman.
I'd be like, are you a Kardashian?
Yeah, I'd be like, are you some kind of ethnic? No?
Yeah, one of those other sisters?
No, you're just a Boebert? Oh, okay, I don't know what that is.
Just a Boebert.
Is that art? Is it Armenian? No? Turn around for me. Turn around for me. You sure you're not Armenian?
No.
To be so plugged in like he is politically, and I think he's pretty plugged in politically, it would be hard, especially at that time, not to know who Lauren Boebert was. I feel like she would have said something. I feel like somebody would have said something to him. I also think he doesn't care.
I can see that.
I don't know if he lies, because that's the thing that this is kind of about. And the title was definitely a little clickbaity, because a good friend of ours had a long talking to with me, and we and it really helped for the writing of that essay. But kind of the reason why I started reading some Gramsci and thinking about cultural hegemony is because of the way Dave Chappelle sees blackness, and I don't think he's using it as a cover like other people in our world do.
Pump the brakes there, homeboy.
Okay.
Oh.
Dave Chappelle has a belief that there is a binary differentiation between the suffering of trans people and the suffering of black people.
Yes.
Completely erasing the reality that there are large numbers of black trans people.
Or some. I don't know, large numbers. Like, I don't know.
There are not large. I mean, of the people that are trans,
Yeah.
there are significant black trans people.
Sure. Yes.
And there are issues about being trans that are particularly idiosyncratic to black trans people. And Dave Chappelle, for example, there's a whole range of statistics about how black trans people suffer more economic precarity, more physical violence, et cetera, so on and so forth. Dave Chappelle would have you think that that is completely superfluous, irrelevant, non-existent, because there's a binary between the purported suffering of trans people and the purported suffering of black people.
Toussaint?
Yeah. It's the only way to be trans is to be white. And I know for some people, just conceptually in their minds, the only way to be black is to be male. So, it's one of those things where we poo-poo intersectionality. Certainly I have my issues with it. It doesn't include class as an intersection. But I think just as an idea, it could help you see some people. I don't know why Dave Chappelle doesn't see black trans people. He might have some kind of argument in mind that, well, I'm not concerned about them. These are the ones I'm concerned about. I don't know. Within the LGBTQIA community, a lot of them have had issues with, I guess, representation for every group involved. A lot of them have mentioned the idea of the group is the white members, or it is just the gay male white members. So, I mean, Dave Chappelle just is contributing to that kind of invisibility for an already vulnerable population.
I think, to be fair, to extend the postulate that you're putting forth, Toussaint, I think Dave Chappelle would also say that there's a binary between LGBTQ people and black people, not just trans.
Well, he does have a line of demarcation between every other letter and the T, as he says. They're all just.
That's true. He doesn't have a particular animus for the T. The T is like his bet noir, as they say.
It's his thing.
I think he knows there's trans people of color. I mean, he's spent a considerable amount of time in the Bay Area. You can't spend a considerable amount of time in the Bay Area and not see it. He's also spent a considerable amount of time in urban areas in general, in urban progressive areas. So I'm sure he's seen them. It's not like when he sees them, he's like, they don't exist, so I don't see them.
I I don't mean see like he's never like walked down the block and saw somebody, but I mean like actually understand someone's existence.
Well, this
Like
is what
that
I
they
write about.
exist. Yeah.
This is what I write about. I write
Mhm.
about acceptance and tolerance, and I think this is what you guys are talking about, and this is where cultural hegemony comes into play. When
Mhm.
Dave Chappelle comes up, nobody cares about gay people. Let's just be honest. Gay people are, if they're even portrayed, they're caricatures. Will and Grace.
Well, I made my statement as a, not to say rebuttal, that would be too harsh, as a corollary to your position that Dave Chappelle has a race reductionist position that's different than some black people. I would agree with you that Dave Chappelle does have a race reductionist position, but I don't agree with you that it's that different. Because one of the things that's very similar to Dave Chappelle's race reductionism is that Dave Chappelle supersedes class amongst black people with race first amongst black people. In other words, he sees black. He does not acknowledge class distinction amongst the blacks.
He does and he doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
He does and he doesn't. He oscillates.
He does.
He understands that his life is different than the lives of others. He made a whole joke about it. So
right. He understands that there's poverty and not poverty. But there are black people who are not rich that are still class above
black people. And he understands that's him, right? Because he says that joke when I'm around Nas and these guys who talk about growth of the projects, like I never did that. And he's also
there's a common theme about that joke, and I've seen this. We've talked about this before, Jason, about brothers who grew up in proximity to black poverty, who want the cool of the black hood without having gone through the struggle of the black hood. And I see Dave Chappelle as being a perfect example of that. Everything, even down to his vices, if you will, excessive smoking of weed, smoking cigarettes, all that stuff. It's I mean, Dave Chappelle comes from a very clean-cut black middle-class family. Both of his parents are academics. He has a brother who's like almost like a Muslim scholar, very, very, very religious guy. He comes from like Tory Reid level old black status educated families. Talking about he has a great grandfather who was a professor at a historically black college and university. This ain't no, we're moving on up to the east side Negro at all here.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a lot more in common with Spike Lee than he has with the Jeffersons.
That being said,
Mm-hmm.
Dave Chappelle, I think, acknowledges to a certain extent that his life was very different than that of some of his contemporaries. And you have to ask yourself, who are his contemporaries in art? And someone joked about this last night as we were watching the movie about Kanye and Dave Chappelle having parents that were either in the Black Panthers or Black Panther adjacent. And if we look at where those kids went, Kanye went in the arts, Dave Chappelle went in the arts, Ta-Nehisi Coates went into the arts as well. And someone was like, well, they kind of let their parents down. I'm like, well, why? Because culturally they won. So I'm sure their parents look at it as a victory. I don't think there's any letdown there. And if we're gonna say Dave Chappelle ignores class altogether, I don't think he ignores it altogether, because the view that he has is the view that the majority of people have when it comes to a flattening of black existence as a combination of race and class. So even though he has a slight understanding of it, I don't think he's stupid at all. It's just also where is his understanding in the world that he grew up in? Not everybody's reading the same books as you. Not everybody's hanging out with Adolph Reed. Adolph Reed, as much as I think people should read him more, listen to him more. He's a pariah in places where Dave Chappelle is going to quote people, right? Frank Wilderson has more sway in certain aspects of Black popular culture than someone like Adolph Reed. I don't say that like it's a good thing. None of us think that's a good thing. But when you hear Dave Chappelle, again, you think about it, we have to go back to the moment he came up in where you could say you didn't like something that was gay. He was saying the N-word on his show, even though it was on cable. There's different tiers of cable. And on Comedy Central, there was also words you could not say. And they were feeling real comfortable and leaning in so hard to the N-word. And he had to ask himself at a certain point, who is this for? And I think that really came to light when a lot of the creative control started to come down from on high. When you're a nobody doing a low budget show, the studio's like running up a flagpole, see if it sticks. You get a lot of creative control. Once something hits as big as that show hit, especially the second season with all the Charlie Murphy stuff and the Prince, fuck your couch, nigga, all that shit. The studio is like, you know what tests really well? This Clayton Bixby. Well, I don't want to do that. Well, you signed the contract, and he runs away. So if we take him at his word, he ran away because the money wasn't worth it. He eventually comes back to show business, signs a deal with Netflix, but the culture has shifted so drastically. But if you're only seeing the Black half of the culture shift, case for reparations, 1619, you have to be thinking, this is my time. It couldn't be more perfect for me. And he makes a joke in the one before the closer. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. He gets some backlash for that in a place that he never got backlash before. Social media. What app are you on in 2003? Friendster? So, it just wasn't that popular. So to get that kind of backlash that he got, the way he was getting it was weird. Because it wasn't enough for Netflix to say, okay, we're going to pull your stuff. Or maybe you don't say this. He still kept insane creative control. And then he does this thing that really speaks to the moment, in my opinion, and I'll shut up, which is the story about the trans person that he met, which he really did meet a person. And he tells that story, and then he ends with a bit of an olive branch of tolerance. But this is not, tolerance is no longer tolerated during what you coined, Pascal, and I don't know if you're the first person to say it, the Great Awakening. It's all about acceptance. You have to accept fully. And before the tolerance, he went on a rant about gender and how many genders there are. And so the tolerance message got mixed by people, and the same people that didn't even really watch his show just knew he was a thing. Now these people are assigning a political affiliation to him. And again, he existed in a moment of just being apolitical. I don't know how he voted in 2003. But we have to know, are you a Democrat? Are you a socialist? Are you a Democrat? None of that existed for him when he was, I'm rich, bitch. None of that existed.
Yeah. Dave Chappelle is he's my contemporary in his age bracket.
I think you guys are the same age.
He's a little younger than me, a little bit. He's closer to Torre.
Okay. So that shift, that huge shift that he experienced, it really got to him, and he never got over it. People in the comments, yeah, he got mad. It's not that he just got mad. It's that you have to understand that the world really changed around him culturally. And it's changed again.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's not that I want to contradict what you're saying, but I'm just trying to understand how Dave Chappelle got to be a man out of time. I mean, if you were to ask him, like, what do you think he'd say? Well, I was in Africa and I was cut off from everything. I was doing a spiritual meditation.
Honestly, what he would say, I was living in Ohio. I went to Africa. I came back. I didn't go to Hollywood. And I wrote it again. I write it. If you want to know, I write about it. He left show business town and he raised his family. And he talks about in that NPR interview that one of the greatest things that happened to him was COVID, because he really got to understand why he left. And he says the greatest thing that he did for his career was leave and just be a dad. But he wasn't being a dad in the urban core. He wasn't being a dad in Hollywood. He was being a dad in, a small part of a super suburb of Iowa. So I don't know how connected he was to social media. He wouldn't be the only person I know that said, no, I just never really had social media because I don't like it. Right? I'm sure his kids, his wife, his management, his agent, his friends, I'm sure people were telling him, hey, man, this is wrong. I mean, he was sending messages to people like Kanye West when they were, trying to align themselves with Trump. He didn't like that. He definitely did the Saturday Night Live show after the Trump election that I thought was genius with Chris Rock, where the white people are losing their mind and they're just cracking up.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
I just think that's thrown him for a loop. That for him is like the Rubik's Cube that he just can't seem to figure out. He can get all the sides, but there's just one side he can't get. And it's the fact that it's like, well, I did the things that you normally do, and they don't accept tolerance. These people are too much. And I'm a black man on top of that. If you've ever been a black man that's been called a nigger, and not in that cool way with the soft A, and or you've had to climb a certain ladder of racism to get to an acceptable point in your career where you no longer have to accept certain kinds of roles. I think he saw a leapfrogging as well of oppression. I think he saw it after the fact. I don't think he saw it when he was making the joke. I think after he made the joke, he sat there and really stewed on who was talking about him. Remember when that walkout happened on Netflix? I hate to break it to you guys, talking about black trans people, but they definitely weren't working for Netflix when they were doing the walkout. So he saw, to him, these are the same old people that love to talk shit about Negroes.
Yeah, that's that kind of flattening. I'm not feeling that bullshit because there's a lot, because his experience with race is not the experience with race that most black people are having, and his ability to say, "My people, who are you? Your people are the 1% tax bracket. You got more in common with them than the people in the hood."
Which he says.
We talking about when he talks about we make sense to the trans people. Stop punching down on my community.
Well, Kevin Hart had said something, I forget how many years before, on social media, and lost the opportunity to host the Oscars, if you remember that.
Right.
That's where that came from. He's not saying these things in the abstract where it's just like, trans people, you punched me with word. Like, it's not, and I don't want to sound like I'm defending him, and I really hate that I sound like I'm defending him, but I want to put him in the proper context because it's easy for him to get defenders, right? And I don't disagree with anything either one of you have said.
But I think that for us on the left, it's not our job to defend those who are technically we should view as entertainment class enemies, whether they be Jay-Z, Dave Chappelle, or whoever else. People who are, waxing rhapsodic about shutting down affordable housing in their communities because they have the capital.
I mean, again, I write about it in the latest issue of the Crisis Papers if you'd like to check that out. There's a link in the description. Toussaint, do you want to vent?
I kind of wonder what's going on. I feel like, did all these Negroes get like a hand on the shoulder uh, to tell them to get back out there in the press? Because
Jay-Z, Dave Chappelle.
John Hope Bryant, even J. Cole, like these rich guys who are, why are they on tour? Why are they all saying like the same kinds of things?
Black capitalism is good for your soul.
That's what John Hope Bryant said.
But Dave Chappelle doesn't necessarily say those things. Again, if you watch his specials, if you watch the special he does the one Equimini and the bird, but I can't remember the name of it. But if you watch that thing, the one where he's just in the small comedy room, I think he's at the upstairs at the Comedy Store. If you watch that one, he talks a lot about capitalism and how it works against women. So it's like this guy understands the system that he's a part of. But the illuminating interview where he can't really do the racial gymnastics that you talk about, Pascal, is the NPR interview and playing in Saudi Arabia. Because he said, it's one of those things that you can't set up any better than this. And I'm surprised more of our Caucasian contemporaries don't do interviews like this or point to things like this as a really good interview. He sets the interview up because he had donated millions of dollars to keep the public radio station alive where he's from in Yellow Springs. So NPR goes all the way to Yellow Springs to interview him. And as they're talking to him, they ask him, well, why would he want to do that? And he talks about the importance of journalism, especially public radio. And it's almost like he gave that woman the green light to just go full hog. And she goes into Saudi Arabia. And again, you got to give Dave some credit for not clavicularing it. Just out. He stood there and he was like, well, here we go. Well, I didn't want to go. She's like, well, you understand that it has been proven that, and I'm paraphrasing, that they killed a journalist, Jamal Khashoggi. He goes, yes, I understand. And they've been asking me for years to go there. And I've declined every time for that reason. And she goes, well, so you went there knowing that they killed a journalist? And then he does this thing that I haven't seen too many people do. And again, in our world, haven't seen too many people talk about it. Saudi Arabia isn't just, entertainment washing when it comes to like the World Cup. They have they're backing most of these big movies that you watch and these big takeover deals that you're seeing. A lot of that's got Saudi money behind it. So he then goes and says, most of the movies that you see are backed by Saudi money. All this entertainment that you love is backed by Saudi money. Now I'm the villain. And then this when he makes the comment that Pascal said, which I quote in the piece: as soon as the slave is able to profit from the plantation, now there's a problem. Where is all this clean money you people keep talking about? And the lady presses him again.
As she should have.
Because most people be like, okay, you got me. And she goes, okay, but why you? And he's like, made sense.
I'll tell you exactly what he said. Yeah. I think we're talking about the same moment. She says, but you said you hesitated for 6 years to go. Yeah. There are years you didn't go. So what made the difference for you? Yep. He says time and circumstance, time and the wheels of commerce kept turning. What? Yep.
It was my time to make a considerable amount of money. They were going to protect me on the taxes. When you go play a show overseas, for those that don't know, when you make money overseas, for those that have never done it, you get crazy tax when you come back. You have to be there for so long. If you come right back like that, you get crazy taxed. Dude, they hooked up everything for those dudes. Hey, we got it all set up. It's going to be in a trust.
Yeah.
Don't worry. You're going to get paid in American dollars, and we're going to fix this on your taxes, so you're not going to pay crazy capital gains. You are going to be flush. And he did it. And all he could say at the end of the interview, sure.
I mean, I went to an Erykah Badu concert once. I believe, it was free. It was free in Brooklyn. And so I guess basically she's explaining that she got paid. Mind you, she was late. But she was like, I just want to thank the borough president for having me here. Whoever set this up. I had some things I wanted to buy. And I would almost respect Dave Chappelle more if he just said that. I had a bunch of stuff in my cart in Temu, and I had some things I wanted to buy. So that's why I went. I don't know, man.
Someone says this is I was going to bring this up and I didn't write about it. One counterpoint I heard somewhere to the Saudi Comedy Festival is, do people criticize comedians for playing comedy festivals in the United States? Saudi Arabia is bad, but the US is obviously worse. Tom York said those same things and got chastised, saying no one complains when we play the States.
I mean, Tom York must be, as my mother would say, reading from Dave Chappelle's book.
He said that way before Chappelle.
Well, that's what I think. Dave Chappelle is very well versed in whataboutism. Someone made a video on YouTube years ago called something like Dave Chappelle dodges laser beams, and I think that he's used to doing that. He's used to this kind of I don't say tap dancing because that might be like demeaning, but he's used to dodging laser beams in interviews. And when he's asked about things, well, what about this? Well, what about that? Well, there is no ethical consumption under capitalism, but he also says he's a capitalist. He's doing all the things at once, and people act like they don't understand. I don't know. He also made a joke about buying up the town that he lives in. And he's like, when you're I guess you're in a black neighborhood and white people come in, it's called gentrification, but there is no word for what I'm doing to these people. The word would be gentrification.
Gentrification, exactly.
Because
he talks about how much he likes it. He said, "Ooh, I kind of like it." Talks about how much he likes it too, because the people are white. The people suffering are white. He was like, "Ooh, that kind of made me feel good." He's like, "Gentrification isn't that so bad when you actually try it." I was like, "Look at this Negro."
I mean,
gentrification is the class. Can I just say real quick? Yeah. Apparently, my understanding, the word comes from the UK. They are more class conscious than we are, which maybe isn't saying much, but they refer to the class of people who come into a neighborhood and gentrify a neighborhood as a gentry class. Gentrification is a class phenomenon, and Dave Chappelle just sidesteps that. There is no word for what I'm doing to these people. Yeah, there kind of is. I mean, he's also like playing Monopoly in their faces.
But also, when gentrification is explained to Dave Chappelle, it's explained by Furious Styles.
Literally.
Right? Furious Styles explained gentrification for a lot of people. Much like Kevin Powell explained racism for a lot of people.
Hey! Take that, Julie.
Take that, New York.
This is my shampoo.
You're like the only person that remembers that fight.
That fight was awesome. It changed me as a person. Kevin Powell, man, he said, "Listen, this is the equation, Julie." Julie was like, "What?"
I'm that Kevin Powell
from the South. But you have power. Race plus power equals racism equals you called me a nigger. I win.
Shampoo.
You the first real world.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin Powell.
You met him? What was it like?
He came to speak at a fraternity function I had with my undergrads when we were celebrating our 30th anniversary of my chapter. He's one of my fraternity brothers.
No way.
He's not in fraternity, is he? He
yes.
is.
No.
Is that if you're walking down the street, Pascal, and you see a rival fraternity and he does that to you, do you guys have to have a step off right there?
No, this is not school days. This is not a different world. Jason thinks that with 50-year-old men living at different worlds.
I do. I think it's like gang shit. Hey, oh, it's one in 5 day to say to niggas, hey, nigga, man.
So you beat him with your cane.
He's got a cane.
We go through this humor exchange every time.
I just want to see one time. I just want to see one time. One time.
We have on this show are members of fraternities, you know.
I am constantly blown away by the collegiate scholars that watch this show, and I think, man,
Yeah.
they smoke a lot of pot.
Aw. I'm thinking about them too.
All the vape pens went to damn.
Oh, Pascal thinking about Greek Fest.
I haven't thought about Greek Fest.
Greek Fest 92.
Oh, those are the days.
We go through this routine every time.
Oh man, when Pascal and Dave Chappelle were, look at them girls, they do something on the beach.
No, that was Freaknik you're talking about.
Freaknik was in the 90s. Yes, that was a black fraternity organization party in Atlanta where a lot of debauchery occurred.
Mm-hmm.
Pascal will not be caught dead at a Freaknik.
You know who went to a Freaknik? Derek Varn.
Wow. Shocked, not shocked. Shocked and not shocked.
Varn went to a Freaknik.
He's doing the Tootsie Roll.
That's how he broke his foot. He's trying to show his wife he still had it. Girl, I tell you, I went to the Freaknik. Oh, yeah. I was there. All the colored folks. Go ahead and play my mix. Go ahead and play my mix. And my 92 mix. The 92 mix. That's the one. Yes.
He had one of the first gigantic camcorders. On his shoulder.
Somebody said how Varn got his groove back.
He got to tell us that story.
He did mention what was that, a champagne room?
There was a show that we were on. One of the episodes, it might have been a champagne room. He was like, "Yeah, I'm probably one of the few guys on this show who's been to Freaknik." I was like, "Vaughn, you've been to Freaknik? What?"
He just stared at you with that look like.
He got video of you, Pascal. That's
He's like, yeah, and you were there too. Ducktail and all.
Pascal was quantum leaping. So he was there. And then he went to my communion and got in the back of a picture I was taking.
Pascal was at Freaknik telling me, put the cameras away. You don't understand.
I want to be president someday. Put that
There's
away.
a thing called the internet, and this is going to be horrible for you people.
I see you all have jokes.
Pascal was president of the Black Law Students Association.
I was not president of the Black Law.
You were not president of BALSA.
I was in the Black Law Students Association. I was not president.
You were not president?
I was a member. Thank you very much.
I was step champion of the 1994 chapter.
I stepped in a championship step show in New York one time.
That's a lot, man. To be a championship stepper?
That's fantastic.
You stepped inception. Yes, yes. Moving on today.
Again, that's how Varn broke his foot, reminiscing on his dancing days.
Oh my god.
What were we talking about again?
Mhm. Somebody said Tootsie Roll, and all I could do is hear the song.
Derek Vaughn gonna write us so many messages. I watched your show. I don't appreciate it.
Pascal is in the protocols of the elders of the Boule. That's not funny. I'm not a member of the Boule.
So said Pascal would have gone pro had it not been for a freaking.
Pascal explained to people who don't know what the Boule is.
That's kind of important that you explain that.
The Boule is a secret society of professional black men called Sigma Pi Phi. It was founded in 1904. It's not a college fraternity. It's a fraternity for college graduated professional black males. It is an old secret society. There are many conspiracy theories affiliated with the Boule. They're kind of the quote-unquote intellectual and professional gatekeepers of the political and socioeconomic fortunes of Black America. Don't ask me whether I agree or disagree with those conspiracy theories.
I didn't know it was a fraternity. Do they have anything to do with W.B. Du Bois?
Du Bois was a member of the Boule. Not only was he a member of the Boule, he started his chapter in New York City in order to take away from the popularity of Marcus Garvey.
It was it had to do with the Talented 10th.
Yes, Du Bois hated Garvey. Garvey and Du Bois hated each other. As a matter of fact, I believe he called Garvey a black gorilla at one point.
Wow.
He was very into listen, our people are not going to be liberated by some dark fat guy. So
they were both colorists. Because Garvey was a reverse colorist. He was like, we must purify a race of these light-skinned half-breeds. And then it was ridiculous.
He hated Drake. I get it.
I do want to ask a serious question. Do you think the Dave Chappelle show, the original show, challenged any racial ideologies?
Ooh, that's a very good question.
The Chappelle show?
You're like the one when keeping it real goes wrong.
I have a friend of mine who believes that Chappelle left the show because he realized something that was obvious from the show from the beginning. He says the show was very coonish, and Chappelle came to realize that, and that's why he quit the show. Do we agree with that logic?
I don't know that I would put it in those words, but that's sort of what he said, isn't it? Yeah. That he felt like some of the things that people really liked about the show were not showing Black people in a positive light, and he was like getting asked to do it more, and that made him feel uncomfortable. He did not like his Frankenstein creation, and so he ran away to another continent from it.
That's what he says.
Yeah, he pretty much says that.
I think it also ends up being a Faustian bargain when you sign these kinds of deals. Everybody wants to have a certain amount of money because you're going to have a certain amount of comfort
and control.
And I think he had both of those things, and he had ridiculous amounts of success. Like, again, I think the people that hated Chappelle, most of them didn't even watch the show.
Yo, we can't. Come on, let's be fair. Chappelle had some funny ass skits, man. They was yo, the Charlie Murphy stuff.
Oh, dude, the first one, Keeping It Real Goes Wrong, is hilarious. Where the guy, my man, or he like gives him a high five after he gets promotion.
The Dave Chappelle reparation skit was hilarious. It was hilarious.
It was a very good show on a small network, and it just blew up to the point where everybody had to watch it.
I'm not willing to say it was all of the Chappelle show was coonish. Was some of it coonish? There was some coonish stuff on it, but I don't think all of it was. We can't disturb this. We can't come out and say, "Oh, this is this is Stephen Fetchit here. This is ridiculous. It wasn't all Stephen Fetchit. No.
But it's who's laughing and why.
Right.
Eddie Murphy can say, I was talking to someone and they said that when their dad watched Eddie Murphy, he agreed Eddie Murphy was funny on Saturday Night Live, but he said some of the people that are laughing aren't laughing for the same reasons he thinks they're laughing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happens when you straddle a certain line, right? We do that here. We straddle a certain line and you don't know why people are like, you don't know who's watching. And
what do you guys think about Key and Peele compared to the Chappelle Show?
I'll let Toussaint go first.
I
I have an opinion, but
I've never watched a whole episode of Key and Peele.
Mhm.
I think, isn't it that they were supposed to have ripped off the Chappelle Show quite a bit?
that's some snoopish. I hate it when he said that because it's like, look, dude, you didn't create sketch comedy, and even if you did create it, even if you think you were the creator of sketch comedy, you're not. But even if you think you are, maybe those people did it better.
Yo, listen, he is not the sole proprietor of racially self-deprecating comedy.
No.
And they had skits that were not on Chappelle that were absolutely hilarious.
Genius.
Though I will say this, Jason, I do know some black people who they didn't like Key and Peele because they were like two biracial black kids making racially derogatory jokes. I'll pass. I was like, come on, man.
Yeah, that's lame. Yeah, I would call him like, you're lame and just keep walking because
Key and Peele is hilarious.
Yes.
I still watch their episodes on YouTube to this day. It's very funny, but there are some black folk who didn't like it. Some black folk are very self-righteous, if you will, about their comedy for a lot of racial reductionist reasons.
Key and Peele made fun of black class, and they made fun of all black people.
They made fun of black fraternities too.
They made fun of everything, right? And if all you take from them is like the college football names thing, it's like then you're missing the whole show because that show was hilarious.
That was funny.
One of the best skits they did was where the two black guys trying to out black each other by ordering
the jacked up soul food.
Yes.
Jesus.
That was hella funny.
That's a classic skit.
The middle class black guy that keeps singing country music, but all the songs are hella racist.
They had genius skits, man.
They had genius skits, but why does Key and Peele not hit the same way Chappelle hits? Chappelle had the appearance of something that Key and Peele doesn't have. And I don't think it's about half-breeds. I think it's more about that he had this kind of appearance of being urban and being a quote-unquote real black dude. And a lot of that is the usage of the N-word and a certain
comfort. No, I see what it is.
Go ahead.
Key and Peele were overtly nerds, and Dave Chappelle gave off cool pose vibes.
Key and Peele do not, and I write about this. They don't do what people call code switching. They kind of have a voice, and that's the voice they talk in, and that's the voice that for the most part, that's the voice that all the skits are in, for the most part. And if it's not in their normal talking voice, then it's an exaggerated voice. Whereas Chappelle has always talked in an exaggerated voice, especially early in his career. During that show, he's very exaggerated. He's very animated. By the time we get Netflix Chappelle, he's slow, he's measured, and he's doing this thing that kind of he's the master of at this point, and that's building a joke.
Mm-hmm.
And he's really good at building and building and building. And Chappelle, this is according to Charlie Murphy, the late, he was having problems in black comedy clubs. He was like, I go to black comedy clubs, and the bits that I do at the white comedy clubs where I'm killing, I go to the black comedy clubs, and I can't get to the joke.
Mm-hmm.
And Chappelle tells him, it's because at the black clubs, you got to come in firing. The white clubs will give you time to build the joke. think about that, and then think about Chappelle's comedy. Think about who didn't get offended. Think about, who's still watching and supporting him, because he's able to really slowly build a lot of his bigger jokes. And I think that's why the last special probably didn't hit as good as some of the ones from the late 2010s and early 2000s. Sans the trans humor, because he could really hit a big laugh with the foundation that he starts with, in the first part. Even the little jokes he tells, he's always building and building and building.
Mm-hmm.
And we watched Def Jam. We watched I don't know if we watched the whole episode or just like a few of the Def Jam skits. And we all watched Def Jam when we were younger, and Martin Lawrence comes out and he's like, "Niggas, pussy! Look at that bitch! Look at that bitch! Hey, bitch, you stupid looking bitch! Pussy!"
Big booty. Yeah.
That was that show in a nutshell. Everybody would come out, "Man, these bitches, pussy bitches, nigga dicks, white man dicks, nigga dicks."
Oh my God.
Whoever's listening,
You're not wrong.
whoever's going to listen to this Monday morning on the audios, don't listen at your office cubicle.
Do not turn it up either.
Do not.
Don't turn it up in your earbuds. No, sir. Yikes. I mean, your part about building makes sense. My first thought was Bernie Mac set, where he comes out and says, "I ain't afraid of you." There's a whole story behind it, but he came out swinging on that one, and it was incredibly successful there. Yeah, I think that's true. You have to hurry up and show Black people like what you have. Otherwise, it's like we are the Apollo. All of us are the Apollo.
The Apollo gave you the template, and the Apollo was like, "We want to be mean." Everybody wanted to be mean. And there was a club in LA that the late Robin Harris, used to host comedy nights at, and them motherfuckers was vicious. And I think any comedy place is vicious. I was watching an interview with Ali Wong, and someone asked her about playing at the Brainwash Cafe. I have literally opened a comedy night at the Brainwash Cafe. It's the brain. I don't even think the Brainwash is there anymore. It was in the Tenderloin. It was a bunch of everything Ali Wong says about it is 100% true. As a person that has literally played the Brainwash, I think if I look hard enough, there's pictures of this there. And it's a rough place. These places are rough. They're small. The size matters. Wow. Size matters. Jesus.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Love that one.
Zing.
And you get good when you have to, even for playing music, you get good when you have to play in front of crowds that aren't there to see you. And that's the bottom line. No one's there to see you. And maybe someone will give you a slight bit more patience than someone else. But, Dave Chappelle played those rowdy comedy clubs.
Mm-hmm.
He also wrote comedy with a white gentleman for years named Neil.
Mm-hmm.
And those jokes, again, took some time to build. And when he starts his first big show is called Killing Him Softly, which is why I named the piece Killing Him Softly. And I was looking for actual reviews of it from critics, and I could only find one. And it was at the time it was released. And the Chicago Tribune guy, Steve something, I can't remember his name, said in his review, he says, "Someone give this guy a show in 2000. He was like, everything he's doing is perfect. And again, let's go back to the 2000. All that stuff was acceptable. Someone said last night when we were watching the movie, I showed the Chappelle show to someone, or I was watching the Chappelle show, and I was like, oh, wow. Or it was Varn. Varn was like, I was watching the Chappelle show with a much younger person, and they didn't get a lot of it.
Mm.
And I thought to myself, this isn't hard to get.
Yeah. Was it like culturally they didn't get it?
But we're back to a time. What made the Chappelle show really big, and I did end up taking this out of the piece because you can write way too much descriptive to try to paint a picture of the era. And what made the Chappelle show big was its acceptance outside of the Black community. We really forget that time at midnight, I think it was midnight for me, that Def Comedy Jam came on. I didn't know white people that watched it. No white kids were going to school going, hamburger. Like nobody was doing that. It was a group of us.
Right, right.
Did you watch Def Comedy Jam? That nigga Bernie Mac? Right?
Yeah.
Same thing with Comic View.
Mm-hmm.
Booty call is a common term in the American lexicon. I would go so far as to say in English in general. I think I can go to the UK and say booty call and someone knows what we're talking about. That's a Bill Bellamy joke from Def Jam.
Yeah, true.
Turn it into a movie.
Turn it into a whole movie. Like, it took a long time for Booty Call, for example, to and Bill Bellamy is not in that movie. It's Jamie Foxx, and his name is Buns in the movie, by the way.
That's right. There's a song too.
Tommy Davidson is in it as well. But the point is, if you were black and did comedy, you were just black and did comedy. It changes a little bit with In Living Color because there's a multiracial cast. But the stars of that show are the Wayans brothers and then a little bit of Jim Carrey. And so Dave Chappelle, to have such a chocolatey cast, but still cross over the way he did, that's pretty big. There's not too many people that have been able to do that to that level.
It's huge, but I would say also that's when Dave Chappelle became black. Because he wasn't like really accepted by black people like that before.
Yeah.
A friend of mine tells a story. He used to work at Hot 97, the infamous hip hop station in New York City, and he said that he was in charge of, like, I don't know, arranging the Christmas party or something, and they like to do a comedy show for it. So he demanded to get Dave Chappelle for it. And everybody was like, don't do that. Come on, man. Like, we don't want to see this. The skinny guy, that skinny guy who's in the weed movies. Come on, man.
The weed movie was also one of those things that is, at the time, yeah, you got The Chronic. Yeah, that's a thing. But the way that movie was like almost Fast Times at Ridgemont High kind of potheady thing.
Yeah, it was white pothead, Grateful Dead coded for the 90s kind of thing,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah. But that was his that got him $50 million. The $50 million thing. And even if you look at the block party, if you look at the musical performance for the show, he stayed away from a certain type of music. And when we think about the two black guys that had pretty successful shows for the 90s and early 2000s, people are always going to point to Chappelle. They never talk about Chris Rock. Chris Rock had a show for 4 years, actually, on HBO.
Chappelle killed Chris Rock. Chris Rock, then I guess they're friends. Chris Rock then became the guy who did the voiceovers for the show about the cute black kid in Brooklyn,
which was probably some of his best work.
Everybody Hates Chris. Right. Chris Rock, I don't think he was as good as people said he was. One of the things I remember vividly was working somewhere, and my boss, who has race issues, was saying that she was going to go to a Chris Rock show, and she's really excited about it. And I was like, oh, I didn't know you were like a big Chris Rock fan. She was like, yeah, I love him. He makes fun of his own people. his own people. And I was like, oh, that's why you like him. Yeah, Chris Rock has said some terrible things about black people. And his whole niggas versus black people became like
We did a
canon.
whole show about it.
It became like part of the Bible for a lot of folks.
Fee fi fo figure, boy, I hate a nigga.
Yeah, and it was very much not within the community. Everybody saw him doing that. He was the original black guy intellectual comedian for like the 90s and stuff.
And you know who to me bit that? The Boondocks with the Martin Luther King episode.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The Martin Luther King episode is Chris Rock's niggas and black people in a nutshell.
They
And they
all
want a
go
Peabody
together.
for that.
Well, Aaron McGruder had a lot of respectability politics in that show.
A ton.
Yes.
Go back. But again, go back and watch a show like the Boondocks. And ask yourself, for all the people like, oh, they need to bring the Boondocks back. It's like, Dave Chappelle said this. Someone said that about Dave Chappelle at Netflix. You can't bring some of these people back and expect it to hit the same way that it hit you in 2005 and 6.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the time is so different. A lot of the things that you thought were transgressive and edgy, you already had your black president.
Right.
And you know what you did to your black president? You said, that guy sucks. You had a black woman vice president. You definitely call her every name under the book. So why do you think these people are going to come back and be radical to you?
Yeah, things are very different now. Even from the early 2000s, like the things we accepted, like as you always say, Maxim magazine. I always say Spike TV. Just all the trash, all the makeover shows where they make you into somebody society can do something with.
There was a show. There
Yeah.
was a show that only lasted one season because eventually the doctors were like, I don't think we should do this. There was a show where they literally brought women in. Hey, you fat piece of shit. We'll give you liposuction and a trainer. Give you a new nose, you big hook nose fucking whore. And then we'll make you halfway decent. And we'll call the show
remember that.
Swan.
Yeah.
I was like, that is so fucking the amount of offensive shit that people were doing in reality shows in the 2000s, and people always go, when are they going to have the Running Man? They already had it for poor, but they'd still do it. It was called Fear Factor.
It's called Mr. Beast.
What would you eat? Joe Rogan would tell people, that's dangerous. You don't have to do this.
Yeah.
You know, The Biggest Loser, there's a documentary about The Biggest Loser, and I watched it. Because, I'm all into this cultural shit. And there were people that were like, oh, man, we were doing anything just to win. But look at me now. And they pan back. And the guy is bigger than he was when he went on the show.
That happens.
He lost like 200 and some pounds.
Yeah.
It was insane how crazy television was. Think about watching the Springer documentary, which I think everybody should watch. Because I think when you look back on stuff like Springer, you go, all of it was fake. Much like Jenny Jones, someone died from that show. Literally dead. Because they went on the Jerry Springer show and drama, real life drama was created. People that worked on the show, producers on the show, got drug habits. And part of that, I think, is success. But they tried to say it was because of the stress of the show. And they said when those fights would break up, there'd be little pieces of hair, there'd be teeth, always blood. Like people were really fighting. We were really laughing at poor people as laws are coming into play that are going to put them under the jail for minor drug offenses. And we don't talk enough about that. Donald Trump was the king of shit mountain. If this is the trash era of entertainment, this is the trash era of culture, Donald Trump got to situate himself directly on the top of the throne. You're fired is not his. That is Vince McMahon's phrase that he took from his buddy Vince. And he wasn't even on it. With the Apprentice wasn't the first show. There was another show called The Billionaire before that was all fake. They had to go in and redo his office because it was such a piece of crap. It was so horrible. The way that era was able to make him out to be a genius and a gajillionaire, that's where he ended up sitting all the way through to 2016.
Facts.
And when that change happens during the Obama years, and it's a swift change back to professionalism. It's the era of the consultant.
I think it's more than professionalism. It's also like, I want to say education, but it's the best and the brightest going to McKinsey. Also, it's Bill Gates and other rich people donating laptops. It's what's that? Finding Superman or whatever.
Yes. Yes.
Mark Zuckerberg donating money to Cory Booker and kids in Newark.
It's the heyday of the neoliberal.
All of that.
Preach.
All of that. But it's also, I don't want to say wokeism. And I don't like using the word in that way, but people were, I don't know, maybe becoming more tolerant, more aware of different kinds of people. Yeah, it was a little bit of that. We were really buying into the hopey changiness of it all. And Obama made a lot of people feel like this country was theirs too. Yeah. And I think
he wasn't worth a damn.
But people bought into it, and they started using different words to refer to people and just call somebody what they want to be called, and more people are announcing what they want to be called, and all of that kind of thing.
The acceptability, because remember, cultural hegemony is about the ruling class. So I do think there's a bottom-up revolution during low culture. I really do believe that.
The Tea Party?
A bit of a Tea Party. It's called Insane Clown Posse.
Surprise how many people love the crack.
When they arrest all them niggas. And everybody goes to prison. And white people could be free again to frolic. I'm totally kidding.
What is dream?
But when you think about how different that time was, when like you said, there's this idea that the problem with the school system is that tenured teachers are lazy. And what we need to do is not have these school lotteries, but we need vouchers, school choice. Like that's going to change. And that woman that was behind that was Obama's education secretary.
Gross.
Michelle Reed.
And
right.
When Pascal says it's the era of the neoliberal, also this is the era where we're going, you know what? Elon Musk is a genius. He's going to change the world.
Also, he's attractive.
I don't know anyone that said that. Maybe what's the rap Grimes said it? I don't know.
I saw this meme where somebody was like, I hate that there was a time when we all thought Elon Musk was hot, and then somebody was like, we?
Yeah, he needs to calm down with his we shit.
Even The Simpsons had an episode about him, though.
Because he was
going to save the world. Yeah,
he was going to change the world. Hyperlink. The future was technology, and the future was social media, and Mark Zuckerberg was leading us there. Elon Musk was leading us there. Jeff Bezos was changing the way we did commerce. Steve Jobs was still alive.
Bill Gates was collecting scrotum and circumcision flesh in Africa and burlap sacks and giving people GMO corn.
Dude, I will never. Did I tell you that when I was on tour and this dude did like AV stuff for a Bill Gates thing?
Oh.
And he's like, and Bill Gates, and they released all these mosquitoes in the room, and Bill Gates is going to eliminate malaria. And you know what? Bill Gates, I can tell you this as a fact, he is anti-malaria. And then he's telling us this story in driving in the bus, and the singer looks at him and goes, I'm pro-malaria.
Yeah, I'll take that.
I laughed. I think I laughed for an entire state. He was like, what the fuck is an anti-malaria? Who is it? Anti-malaria?
Yeah, man. It's like handing out nets to everyone.
Yeah, it's like, you don't understand. Bill Gates is trying to be anti-malaria. He's like, I don't know anyone that's pro-malaria.
So stupid.
Everybody's saying I'm pro-malaria. If you guys would have all been there, and it was just the timing. If you would have seen the look on his face, every word that came out of that dude's mouth, the singer had his eyes like this. Like, this nigga don't shut. But yeah, those guys were heroes.
Yes.
We were all going to learn how to code, and that was the future was in technology, and all these people got coding jobs, and everybody wanted to be a consultant and a lawyer.
Yeah. Pete Buttigieg was fixing bread prices.
Yeah.
At McKinsey.
And you have to go back to Pascal. It was the era of the neoliberal where you could do all these things and explain to people why these dumb, poor nations just needed it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Someone says Obama is malaria.
Malaria is Trump's wife.
That movie is free for me now on Amazon, and I kind of want to watch it, but there's so many things I have to do with my life.
That's true.
A little more important than indulging in that. Getting back to Dave Chappelle,
mm-hmm.
Again, I think that moment that he comes back, we also have to remember the leap forward in this idea of blackness that happens as well too. 1619 is a time where everyone's going, you know what? I think slavery was kind of bad. I think you people had it kind of shitty. We had land acknowledgements. As much as I talk shit about land acknowledgements, the first time I heard one, I was like, oh, wow. Yeah, I guess that is pretty fucked up. Glad you acknowledged that. I don't know what you're going to do about it, but
people still have it in their email signatures, particularly in Canada and Australia.
But again, the ruling class has no problem with this change.
Of course not, because like I'm emailing you from stolen land.
That's fact.
But I did it on a VPN, so that's a little bit better. But thinking about being a comic before Obama in the heart of Bush and Iraq and making these jokes like his predecessor Richard Pryor made about the black president, how the black president would act. And then Dave Chappelle actually got to know the black president.
Mm-hmm.
Then he comes back and he's a comedy hero. He's a comedy legend. You weathered the storm of Bush? Yeah, I was there. I was there for the dark times. You were on Def Comedy Champ.
Yeah.
Right? And he comes back and the show, for all intents and purposes, is a success. What I tried to say in the piece and what I'm trying to say now, it just didn't hit with people that nobody cared about. Here, I want everyone to think about this for a second. Bill Burr went to Riyadh as well. Mm-hmm. And people that said they were Bill Burr fans were upset. And I always say, did you buy a VIP ticket to a Bill Burr show? I don't want to hear your excuse why you couldn't. If your answer is no, don't worry about what Bill Burr does. You were never part of the people he was talking to in the first place. And that's the big thing I think that social media doesn't get with real life.
I don't know. His podcast has tanked, apparently.
I'm sure he's okay.
We might be doing better than him at this point.
Like I'm sure Bill Burr is just fine. His wife ain't working extra hours at the Piggly Wiggly. You know what I mean?
Taking up some extra shifts.
If Bill Burr couldn't make it, he'd have picked up an extra shift when he heard it was peak pricing on Uber and Lyft. What? No. His life, he's just fine right now, right? And entertainment is moving so far away from quote unquote regular people being able to enjoy it. It's becoming a very, very elite endeavor. I am a Giants fan, and my San Francisco Giants defeated 2 games in a row the wretched Los Angeles Dodgers. But watching that, the highlights from the game wasn't like watching highlights from the game a couple generations ago when I watched that game at Candlestick Park, and there were countless fights in the stands because, there's gang shit going on. There's just drunk shit going on. And I'm happy there's not fights in the stands, but those things got eliminated by pricing certain people out of that kind of entertainment.
Hold on, you're from Richmond, California, and you didn't grow up an Oakland A's fan?
Fuck no. Fuck those yellow jersey wearing traitors.
Oh.
Fuck them.
Is that the team that
Moved
MC Hammer played on?
Yes.
He did not play. He was a ball.
Oh, he didn't play. I think they let him play like as a celebrity. They let him throw
He
a
was
ball.
a ball boy.
Yeah.
And an A's player said he looked like Hammer and Hank Aaron, and that's why he named MC Hammer. Yes, that is very true. That is true. I am from Richmond, California. My mother dated a Giants fan who recorded the games, and so I watched Giants games growing up. And they had better uniforms. Easy, simple as that.
Blue, white, orange?
The Giants uniforms are black and orange. Please don't get it twisted.
Oh, I don't like the orange. I'm sorry.
Wow. No, that's why
pop colors are great, but
you're a Yankee fan.
What? I do like their uniforms better. Their colors are better than the Mets.
Falls. You're a black person from Queens, New York, and you're not a Mets fan?
Well, no. Okay. Well, the only game I've ever gone to was a Mets game. I don't like their colors, but I will say, my friend's mom, Benny, years ago, was like, "Listen, the Yankees, they're for the rich people. The Mets are for the regular people. They're for the working person."
Not only that, the Yankees didn't allow black players for years.
They still don't. They still don't. Toussaint had to go to the game through the back door.
I'm not a sports ball fan.
Ricky Henderson was one of the greatest Yankees of all time.
I have zero tolerance for Queens people who root for the Yankees, man. I think it's blasphemy.
I just like their colors better, man. That's really it.
Man, orange and blue is like the color of New York City.
Yeah, and I can't stand it. I don't like when the Knicks do it. I don't like when the Mets do it. I mean, I understand the Rangers is like patriotic, but
oh my god, this is hilarious. I didn't know that those are New York colors. I learned something new today. I like the best Mets jersey is the 80s jersey where there was no buttons. It was just like the V-neck. White Gooden, Darryl Strawberry.
Mets 86 was a great year for New York sports. New York Giants and the Mets.
Kevin Mitchell and Pascal. Where did Kevin Mitchell end up going? San Francisco Giants.
Like Piazza.
Man, you're from Oakland, California. You root for the Denver Broncos, man. So
I know there's a lot wrong with me. There's a lot wrong with me. Look, it's okay.
Hard agree.
It's okay.
Yeah. Let's end the show on that note. We ain't even talking about Dave Chappelle.
Fuck him. He never. What jersey did he wear? He's from Ohio. Okay. Racist Indians jersey. Yeah, super racist Indians jersey. Dave Chappelle. Hella mad. They took the Indian off. Take that, Dave Chappelle.
What do they call the mascot for the Cleveland now? Is it the Cleveland what?
Guardians.
The Cleveland Guardians?
Yes.
Wow. And the Washington went with the champions, right? The Washington Redskins?
They're the Commanders.
Commanders.
Yeah. Guardians and Commanders. And there's people that are lobbying for the Washington to bring back the Redskin.
Yo, DC people do not like the Commanders. They want the Redskins back.
I mean, if they could be called the Sambos, man, I love that restaurant. Pascal, you went to Sambo's before, right?
Never been to Sambo's. Never been to Buc-ee's.
Oh.
Toussaint, you went to Sambo's?
No. I would never. As Nas said, pro-black, I don't pick cotton out of aspirin bottle.
Not be digging in a Tylenol bottle with all four fingers.
But when he does it, he goes, wade in the water. Dad's got a headache again.
That's what he said.
Do you remember when Serena Williams went to that hotel and she saw cotton in the vase and she was like, I don't know how I feel about this cotton.
Yes.
Megan Kelly made like a huge deal. We're like, get over it, Negro.
I remember that. I got into it with a friend over that.
Cotton tomorrow, cotton forever.
Yeah. I got into it with a friend over that. And she was like, I just don't think you understand. I was like, you eat sugar every day. I don't get offended.
It's just right. Motherfucker, it was like, you buying sugar, right?
All the time.
But that goes back to the kind of awareness that people have about slavery and the understanding. And if the like Chappelle's understanding of the world, kind of boils down to, I do believe his understanding of the world boils down to a flattening of just like black and white. And that's kind of on purpose as well, right? Most people understand the world that way. That's why people accept Afropessimism so much, because it just says openly, you can have a Haitian hit me up the other day that we all know, Wozni Lambre, just to ruin my day.
Okay.
No, he didn't. He sent me, every so often he'll send me messages. He sent me a message and it was the FD Signifier video where FD Signifier is saying Kyle Kalinski's an idiot because he doesn't understand the New Deal never worked for black people. I did a whole video about how the New Deal didn't work for black people and no black people ever got any benefits from the GI Bill.
That's totally not true.
I know. And then he goes, you can have all the socialism you want, but you're never going to get rid of racism. And then he holds up Wilderson's book, shakes it like it's a...
Oh my gosh. Are you serious?
But that is the understanding that a person, maybe not to the Afro-pessimistic perspective, because I don't know if Dave Chappelle's bothered reading that book, but if he did, he'd love it. But that's the way he sees the world.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when he says, the moment I get something, it's bad and slaves and benefit of the plantation, and why are you getting mad at me and you're not getting mad at all these other people that have openly gotten backed by Saudi money? You're only mad at this handful of comedians that did this thing. He's only going to see it one way. And that is, you're attacking me because I'm a black man. When those trans people are coming at him, they're white. He's only seeing you're attacking me, a black man.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that is the lens in which he sees. And it's not just him. The reason why I did the show is not because I give that much of a shit about Dave Chappelle. I'm using his as an example of how so many of us understand these things through this lens, this hegemonic lens of race. So you can think that, oh, you know, because we got 1619, we got Oscars so white, and da, 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 da. Like we're advancing, and now we got a black person here and there. We never talk about class, because there'll always be someone to be like, if you get all the things that you want to get, you're still going to have someone call you the N-word. And as Waz told me, we were sending each other voice memos back and forth, and he sent me one. It was really funny. And I can't do his voice because he's just so New York. And I love that about him, that he's just so New York. Much like you two are, even though you try to cover it up. You're so New York.
I love you and Waz together. It's like two introverts, but like different introverts. Sorry, extroverts. Sorry.
He goes, if you just look at another ethnic group in this country, let's just say the Jews, I'm sure there's a lot of people that have racist attitudes towards Jews. Do you think those landlords give a shit about who's calling them a name here and there? It's like you're trying to eliminate racism, which is feelings, and you're not really talking about discrimination. And that's a whole different thing. You want to put laws in place to protect you from that. And those people ignore things like that. And they say things like, well, the 13th Amendment is racist, so we should get rid of it. Remember when Will Smith did that? Went on a whole campaign with all his Hollywood friends to get rid of the 13th Amendment.
As they don't freaking call it, 13therism.
Yeah.
By the way, he's got a great new article in MToussaint.
Pascal sent me a link to Adolph Reed's new article in MToussaint with 3 flame emojis.
Yeah, someone said Oprah got called one in Europe. I mean, it's not fun. I wouldn't, you know, if Toussaint was like, somebody called me a nigger today. I'm like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
And then we talk about something else. I mean, how do you feel about that, Toussaint?
I'm trying to think of like how to express it, because I hear a lot of Black people say that, basically saying they don't want to talk about class because there's a lot of leftists who are white, if not all of them, and they are racist. So we don't want to do this solidarity Bernie Sanders thing with them. And I'm like, but how do you feel about class? How do you feel about Bernie Sanders? It's this thing of going to how white people think or feel, as opposed to this is how I feel, this is what I think. I find the same thing with animal rights. How do you feel about, you know, animal rights and stuff? How do you, like, what do you think about people wearing fur and stuff like that? Well, I don't like PETA. But how do you feel? I just don't like they throwing paint on people and they be having racist ads and blah blah blah. How do you feel about animals? Your relationship.
Hold on while I brush my chinchilla coat.
I've heard some people say, "Oh, is wearing furs and stuff is not a problem until Black people started wearing furs," and I was like,
"What? What is wrong with you?"
There's a continent called Africa. I don't know. Where do I start?
I would have been like, "Are you what?"
Yeah. I think it's very difficult to get class back into the conversation with
because there's a thin line between talking about class and capitalism, and that line, no one wants to cross that line.
Well, there's a new race problem in town, and that is before we go, I do want to ask you guys about this. Maybe this is a great teaser.
Oh my God, what are we gonna do now? Where are you gonna take us?
So just recently in Houston, an officer got fired because she went on a amazingly racist tirade on her social media. And this woman is the epitome of hot Cheeto behavior. She's an officer. She was a cop. And she says the N-word. But what I find interesting about this, and we've talked about the N-word, and we've talked about how a lot of people are very comfortable with it. And has it lost some of its sway? Are people trying to hang on to the past, a past they never experienced, just so they can have a reason to have some sort of upper hand, moral upper hand when someone uses it, even though they use the same word? And it's being used by a lot of people in its proper context. So this woman uses hard R and soft A in the same rant. And I want you guys to watch it. Tell me what you think. Tell me, this is a big deal. This is a big deal. This was actually, I got the story from a news channel, and then I found the woman's rant. And it's pretty bad. This Mark Furman would be like, my God. Oof.
The amount of times that I will always and forever say that I fucking hate niggers. Oh my God, I fucking hate chimps. Like, I hate y'all. Like, I don't fucking, oh, we were slaves this entire, I don't give a fuck, nigga. Like, for a fucking reason, you guys were fucking slaves. You guys don't know anything better than a fucking skill. Like, oh my fucking God, nigga. Like, I was literally eating fucking food with my friend. He had his, oh my God, like, I don't know, por Dios, por gracias de fucking Dios, I had my fucking wallet next to me, like my whole purse, and those fucking, like, that little fucking small ass chimp decided not to fucking steal my fucking wallet, nigga. Oh my God, nigga.
Do you see how she goes from hard R?
She say chimp? That small ass chimp?
She did say chimp, yes. She's a cop.
She's obviously Mexican.
Yes. She was also in the military.
Wonderful.
So this Mexican woman is calling black people chimps.
Yes. But listen to how she goes back and forth.
I get it. I saw it.
Are you peeping this?
Put the ground on my heel and like whoop the fuck out of that nigga's ass. But like whatever, right? Some other but no homo or nothing. Y'all don't know how good it felt to say like out loud, like goddamn nigga, like oh my God, I felt like I was back in the Marine Corps, nigga. Like I kid you not, I don't know what the fuck came over me. I grabbed that nigga by the neck and I was like, come here, you fucking nigger. And oh my God, like I felt like the world just stopped. Like
she's racist, but she likes rap.
She goes, when I grabbed him and I just said, nigger, I saw birds. There was a bright ray of light. Like, Jesus Christ. Why would you live stream this?
Hope she got her ass beat.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was a lot. That was a lot. People live stream everything.
But you're going to live stream as an officer of the law on a public platform? You're going to live stream you talking about how you hit a black person and called him the N-word?
There were some nurses.
What's the bar to be a cop in Houston? Oh my God, this woman sounds retarded.
Low bar.
Yeah.
Low bar.
It's a low bar to entry there.
There were some nurses who got in trouble for putting on social media some discharge some woman left after her examination. And they were like, can you believe this? Oh my God. And it smells so bad. And they were like, pantomiming being sick. And you'd be amazed at things that people want to make videos of at work or live stream. People are they're just going for it.
Do you think that has to do with the fact that people say things like, oh man, if you could just see what my life was like, if you could see what it's like inside. Like, I think I told you when I was at they call it a Mancamp, when I was working in North Dakota.
Whoa.
Wow, I knew you were going to say something. Jesus Christ.
Whoa.
The,
Hey,
the
yo.
guttural minds. The guttural minds.
Hey, yo. No, I'm joking. Go ahead.
Working
That was a-
man camp. What the hell?
Like, Jesus, guys. Where people, men and women, lived.
One time at Mancamp.
Should I say pause?
that is going to be all the comments. One time at Mancamp comments. Just
Mancamp sounds outrageous.
a barrage of Mancamp comments. When I worked at the Mancamp, a few reality shows came in. Ice Road Truckers came to recruit, and
I'm sorry. This sounds like a place where dudes go to pretend they're in the military. They're like crawling under barbed wire and climbing fences and stuff.
they make them cry and shit. They're like, if you're a real man, you just get it out, just cry.
Someone's calling them fat and lazy. Just
no.
And they pay a lot of money for that.
It's a housing facility for people that were working in the oil field in North Dakota. And I cooked at the Mancamp. It's called a Mancamp. I should have said housing facility. I fucked up and I'd slipped.
Young man.
It's fun to be in the YMCA. It's fun to be in the YMCA. It's the man camp. And this was in. You can get up in all your fields. Why man camp CA is fun to be in the man camp CA.
Oh, we know each other so well. You knew exactly where I was going with that.
It was a house. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yes, it doesn't matter.
So, nigga, if I can get fraternity heat, you can get man camp all day.
Hey, tough guy, was that when you were in the man camp? Macho man camp. Oh, God. I'm looking at these comments you guys are leaving. Oh, God. Maybe we shouldn't clip this show.
Sorry.
Jason gets a finger in his ass at the man camp. I didn't even say that. How did you get that title? AI.
I'm doing timestamps, and that's going to be the title.
Jason gets a
finger. 1 minute.
It's not even important now, but there were reality shows that came there. Ice Road Truckers came to recruit because, of course, you drive on ice in the middle of North Dakota. Not even the middle. We're on the western end of the state. And Storage Wars came there because they wanted to film a show inside of a man camp. Life inside them. Only on logo.
Life behind the barbed wire at man camp.
Behind the glitter. What? The glitter. Behind the fabulous at listeness at man camp. That's not
tops or bottom.
Daffy ducking it.
Damn.
Man, Donald ducking it.
Oh my God. Someone said on Bravo. I remember they told me I wasn't allowed to talk to the producers from Storage Wars. They're like, you can't talk to those people. I was like, just me? They're like, yes, just you.
Just you?
But you talk too much shit about what goes on in here, and you cannot tell those people anything.
Oh my gosh.
Sure enough.
Jason doing an expose.
They found me. Yeah, you see this? You saw the fucking management just sweating, like, oh God, please don't talk about all the rapes.
Jason's like, and they just throw their underwear and their socks on the ground and they spit on the floor. I hate it here. Do you know how clean I am?
It's just I don't want to talk about what we found at the Mancamp, but it is not.
Ooh. Yeah.
Mancamp was a dark, dark place. But outside of Mancamp, like I said, they didn't want to film reality shows there. And I think a reality show was filmed there. Not at mine. But one of the camps that I had worked at, right as I left, a new guy came in, another black guy came in, and he was not liked, I guess, by the kitchen staff. And he went into work. And mind you, we all live on site, right? He went into work and they had hung nooses all in the galley, all throughout the galley. Yeah, the Mancamp was a real, like, that's why I have like a certain, like, people are like, oh, this person said this about my hair. It's like, nah, fuck them. You're fine. Did they hang a noose at your place of work?
Nuri said no one had a milk frother. So I guess it was a little more than that for you.
Oh,
I did. Not like Mancamp.
I had a whole espresso machine there. You weren't at the Mancamp. Fucking know.
You had your own espresso machine.
No, espresso machine, yeah.
He had his own espresso machine.
Wow.
How special.
You wouldn't last a day in the Mancamp.
Oh my gosh.
This is for Pascal and Toussaint.
We're back in your subconscious.
This is the only way to say the N-word moving forward.
Oh no.
In this video, I wrote out a bunch of words. I said that this girl is naturally intelligent, gorgeous, generous, exemplary, and radiant. And the first letter of all of those words spells out the word nigger. That does not make me racist. That makes me somebody who is trying to say, hey, how about, here's an idea. We reclaim that word. We, meaning anyone who is victimized, who is a dark-skinned person, that's what I'm suggesting that they would do, instead of constantly trying to block the word.
There you go.
Vegans.
We don't need your suggestion as to how to police the word. You don't count in this conversations.
You're not naturally intelligent, egregiously radiant, recklessly. What did she say?
Oh no. Oh man.
The vegan shirt and the hair, I was like, this has to be. Where's Tucker Carlson? Well, come on, this isn't real.
As far as I know, that's what she's like. That's a vegan teacher. And I'm a vegetarian. I just want to say that.
When that lady spelled that out, I couldn't stop laughing.
Man, people used to do that in the chat. Not this one necessarily, but like they would spell it out and post it, and it felt so clever, that 4chan stuff, you know.
So that's what she's doing. She's reclaiming 4chan.
Basically.
Crossword racism, somebody said. What did she say? She was naturally intelligent, gorgeous,
Yeah.
generous.
She had me in the first half. Not gonna lie.
On that note.
Yeah, you gotta end on that. Again, please don't listen to this show at your job without
No.
and then listen with headphones and then giggle a lot and then go like this, like, what? You look so, yeah, you gotta watch this show. It's great.
Still not too loud in your headphones because people do be hearing you in your open plan office. They're gonna hear you.
Thank you, guys. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. with Kuba and a special guest. I cannot say who.
Oh, wait! All in one show?
Mm-hmm.
Will they be wearing a tie?
I will be wearing a tie. Kuba will be wearing a tie. This person will definitely not be wearing a tie.
Oh, who's this rebel?
You know this person.
Do I?
Mm-hmm.
Do they do news and stuff?
They haven't done anything in a long time.
That's right, Gene.
Is this Gene? Gene have to work. He's taking Friday off to mess with y'all.
Gene. What do you fucking get all worked up about? It's just Gene.
Hasn't done anything in a while.
Yeah. So this is just Gene Kuba will be back. So join me tomorrow morning for another fresh hell at 9 a.m. So thank you guys. Thank you, Pascal and Toussaint, for I think we talked about Dave Chappelle for a good hour and 10 minutes.
We tried.
I think it was a fruitful discussion, to be honest with you.
We got to some things that you don't hear on other shows.
I think Pascal hit the nail on the head. We talked about the neoliberal turn, because I think you have to mention that turn, that hardcore neoliberal turn where everybody wants to be one and really appreciates neoliberalism. And then when you don't get anything from it, you get Trumpism.
You don't like that the bread prices have been fixed anymore.
Trumpism is a perfect way for you to just get new enemies. Who do those enemies really become? It's not really Mark Zuckerberg as much as it's, migrants, who's peeing where, uppity niggas.
Uppity niggas.
Uppity niggas.
Boulay niggas.
So thank you guys. It's a great show. And we are out.